Hi, my name is Abigail Morgan, and my film is called Perspectives. It's about a young girl named Alyssa who works at Walmart. She lives a very repetitive life and is very clearly frustrated throughout the film. She looks for something to spice up her day when she is on her way home and sees somebody dumping something in the street. She strolls up to investigate, and somebody sees and assumes that she is the assailant of this person and calls the cops, which leads to the end of the movie with her having her mugshots taken. I decided on this film after a long conversation with a friend about how everybody has different perspectives, which causes them to think differently, act differently, and treat you differently. My favorite part of the pre-production process was definitely the storyboards and the mood boards. I love making collages, and I would never expect it to be part of the pre-production process, but it definitely helped me see my vision and make it easier for me to make my film. The location scouting was also pretty easy, as most of the locations around in my hometown are pretty secluded anyways, and it wasn't very difficult to find the places I wanted to shoot at. The script was also pretty easy, as I kept the words to a minimum. I wanted it to keep the indie feel to it. I originally wanted it to have no words at all, but I decided the concept would probably be harder to grasp from the audience if there weren't any words, so I kept a minimum of words. The first day of filming definitely went worse than expected. Sunset that we could use to film the scenes, and it was also Alyssa's first experience with acting, so we had to work around the jitters with that. We didn't have much time to record. Our schedules are pretty strict, and with the sunset being such a vital scene, there's only such a small window I can use to film a sunset, and there were only 2 days that we had in common, so we only had 2 days that we could record, but we did get it filmed, and even though it was really rocky, it was a really fun process, and I enjoyed having laughs with my friends when the script wouldn't go to plan. I've always been told that I'm not the best at explaining things or giving directions, but obviously throughout this whole process I had to learn how to give a lot of directions to direct a movie. So I believe that I got a lot better with my words and explaining myself and how I want things to be done, so I can definitely carry that on in the future. And I also think that my perspective with Jan being in the first point of view to really hit the nail on the head with differing perspectives, I think it was a really cool idea, and as soon as I thought that when I was brainstorming, I definitely knew I was going to implement it into my film. The next time I decide to make a film after this experience, I will definitely make sure I know how the weather is going to play out for the day. I would also like to print out my shot list so that we know exactly where we are, exactly what the next thing is, where to leave off, and where we're going. I believe it would make the process a lot easier. In doing this process, I definitely realized that I enjoy filmmaking, and it definitely tapped in that interest a lot more for me. When I do it next time, I will definitely make sure I use my newfound skill of proper directing. And finally, I would like to thank my best friend Alyssa for being my subject. Even though she's never acted before and she was super nervous to be on film, I believe she did a great job, and I appreciate her so much for helping me out with my project. I love her so much. Thank you, Alyssa, and thank you all for watching. I just need to let you guys know that go about it with the same mindset Alyssa did. Even though you don't know what you're doing, you'll figure it out. It's easy enough. And since you stayed this long, here's some bloopers from the first day of recording.
Bro, I'm not a good. Wait, what else was